everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and this is a video overview of this knife. And this knife is the Kyle Steeg Imp. And this is it's originally designed to be like a necker knife, and it came with a ball and chain attachment. It was very well done. It had a little hollowed out paracord around it to make sure that the chain didn't dig into your neck. Comes with a very nice Kydex sheath with a little port here at the end to allow gunk to ooze out. And the knife itself is exceptionally small. I mean, this is one heck of a tiny knife. But the reality is, most of the time, you don't need a blade much bigger than this. The other thing that Kyle did that was really clever, in addition to putting this little sweep here, kind of give you like something of a guard to run up against, he gave you this lanyard attachment. And when you put your finger in the lanyard attachment, you hold the knife, it does give you a significantly better grip. Not only will it not like pull out of your hand, but it still gives something to hang on to with your pinky. Otherwise, it's, you know, just a 3-finger knife. And I really, really like the lanyard. As you can see, I got number 11 of 20. And right there is Kyle's really bitchin' maker's mark. Kyle put a run of jimping up here, which I find, given the size of the knife, is actually quite useful. I mean, when you have the jimping this far out on the blade, you have a ton of control over the cutting edge. And I did a lot of cutting tasks with this. I took this camping on my son's first camping trip. This was my knife when we were on the camping trip, and we did everything. I mean, everything from like cutting raw meat to cutting up eggs. Basically like a food knife, camp knife. We whittled with it. I cut up pieces of wood for the fire. And as you can see, it's developed a very nice patina, in part because after we cleaned the grease, I used whatever detergent we had with us, and apparently I did not know this, but there are some detergents that have this reaction with steel, and they produce, let me see if I can get a good, yeah, it's almost like the sort of the oil slick colors that you see, like the iridescent top of an oil slick. It's on both sides. There's no rust, no pitting, no texture to it at all. It's just a little bit of patina, and I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me. Kyle had this knife come unbelievably sharp. Like, there was no problem, and it's a little dull now because I've used it so much, but there was no problem for me to shave with this. I mean, it was, let's see if I can do this. This is probably not really a great idea, but I mean, it would take up hair, and I mean, it just takes up hair like it's a magnet. It's an incredibly sharp knife. As you can see, the blade shape is really handy. I mean, like I said, there's a little bit of a guard here. The jimping comes way out to give you a ton of control over the blade. And there's just not really an upswept tip, but a little bit of a bend up that way. It gives you just that much more belly. It makes the piercing tip a little nicer. It's a really thin stock. I don't actually know what the steel is, and I'm not really sure if I care. There's a run of jimping back here, and then Kyle had two. One was a carbon fiber, and one was red. I wanted the red one, and it's red, I believe this is micarta, and then inside there are some orange liners, and there's the orange lanyard. The whole package was quite a buy. Kyle did a really good job. All of Kyle's knives so far, the Marine Raider, and this knife, they've been up on Instagram, and they sell out pretty quickly. He knows what he's doing. He really knows what he's doing. This is a fun knife to play with, fun knife to use. Oh, one other thing. Let's see if we can get this to work. There you go. That is a convex edge. Whole knife, convex. And it cuts like a razor. I'm not going to do a review of this knife. Kyle's one of my friends. I really like talking to him. He was a guest on the podcast. All around cool guy. And I'm not gonna be objective. So like, it doesn't do me any good to tell you that this is a great knife, because number one, this is exactly the kind of knife I wanted. This is exactly the kind of fixed blade I want. It's so small. I mean, it rides in your pocket really, really well. You can put it in your jeans coin pocket. And there it is with a deck of cards. It's so good in your pocket. It does so much. So it's not gonna do me any good to tell you that it's a good knife. I mean, you can see it's a good knife. But I also feel like if there were flaws, I probably wouldn't call them out, though. Having used it now pretty extensively, I don't know what they are. I mean, it's a small knife, so people would probably want more handle, but the way he has it set up with the lanyard and the way that the guard works, it's fine for me. I mean, I don't know. I found that like going outside, going outdoors, this is a perfect little fixed blade to take with you on like a day hike or something like that. Or if you're around the house and you're doing gardening or something, it just cuts and does a really good job. I'm not even sure if they're available, so I'm not sure why I'm reviewing this or putting up a video review other than to tell you that Kyle's blades are awesome. So if you can, go check him out. His YouTube channel is Average Iowa Guy. He's the co-host of the Knife Journal podcast with a guy named Jim Noka, who's also a pretty cool guy. Go give them a listen, and they run the Knife Journal forums. So keep your eyes open. Kyle Versteeg, he's a guy that's coming up. He's going to make more knives, I'm sure, and he's doing a very good job with them. So that's the Versteeg Imp.